Life is a Beach, and today I'm at a wonderful place called the Place of Smiles, and Riverstone Lodge was discovered actually quite by accident. We were coming back from Durban and we wanted to stay, just extend our holiday by one more day, and we were coming down the highway and I said to my husband, you know, there's this place that's nearby on our way home called Riverstone, let's pop in there. And we did. You had room for us, which was awesome. We had a wonderful stay. And the next morning we were quite reluctant to leave. In fact, the lady who was with us as one of my presenters, she said her family phoned and said, are you in Joburg? Because your photos all indicate that you're in Joburg. And she said, yes. And they said, don't you want to come home? And she said, no, I'm at Riverstone, I'm not coming home. So I really had to come back and talk to you. And I want to introduce you to Linda, Gilbert and James, all of who constitute the management of the property. So maybe, Linda, do you want to start and introduce yourself so that we can know who you are?
Oh, well, thank you, Jane. My name is Linda Lavisa. I am one of the directors and my portfolio is mainly on human resources and training, mentoring our staff, and that's who I am.
I think you mentor your guests as well, because you were the first person I met when I arrived.
Absolutely.
And I think you made such a good impression on us, we just came back.
We welcome everybody here. That is our job. So when I'm on the floor, I do what the floor people do, and I also overlook and see whatever we've trained is happening. So
That's
we're
wonderful.
all on hands.
That's amazing. So well done.
Thank you.
It was really a great stay.
Lovely.
So Gilbert, and how do we explain you? You're an enigma.
Janine, well, welcome, and to all of our guests, welcome. And I must say, you know, your opening line there about who we are, the Place of Smiles, and the welcome that you received is really what we're all about. We're in the people's game, and we really spend a lot of time, Linda, in training our people, taking ownership of the business, and that's who we are. We are a venue that's in the cradle of humankind, very well located between Johannesburg, Pretoria and Roodepoort, and we cater basically for the local people. And I must say that all through COVID and even after COVID, it's the locals that come here and that enjoy our facilities, that keep coming back and telling their people, same thing as you said now, that's really sustaining us. So I'm so excited to hear that is still continuing. And even whilst I wasn't here, as you know, I've just come back from a UK holiday, it's very encouraging to get that feedback, so thank you.
Well, one of the good things was, I want to know is, are you Muldersdrift or Driefontein?
So we actually Muldersdrift. Muldersdrift is a massive area. So Driefontein is a part of Muldersdrift. So
Okay.
it's in Muldersdrift.
Because that was kind of confusing when we came off the turnoff. Do we take Muldersdrift? Do you take M5? Which
Yeah.
is the turnoff that you take?
So it's a Driefontein Road.
So it's a Driefontein Road.
That's right.
Interesting. And James, what about you? You're sitting there so quietly.
No. Just a festival. I'd like to welcome you again, once again, because yeah, it's true that you came to the Place of Smiles, and I met one of your friends.
Yes, you did. One of the presenters that was with me.
And then she said, wow, definitely I will come back. So I'm so happy when I'm seeing you here today. My name is James.
Well, I must tell you, James,
Yes.
one of the things I hate in the morning is cold eggs.
Yeah.
It's just something I cannot deal with. And I must say, when we were here, I said, my husband and Bridget both looked at me and said, and the verdict? I said, hot eggs. They said, okay, let's enjoy our breakfast. So well done on that.
Yeah, I'm head chef of Riverstone Lodge. Actually, yeah, it's home. It's like a family thing. We are familiar. So yeah, like Mr. Asia, what he says, and Melinda is like we like to support our local people. Everything is local first, and then we go out. So
And
that
I
is how
presume
we
when
are.
you do conferences, weddings, those kind of things,
Yes.
you have a menu that you offer which is pretty standard, but people, I've noticed lately, people are allergic to everything under the sun, starting with nuts, and one friend is allergic to vegetables, and the allergy list seems to get longer.
Yes.
So I presume you obviously cater for different people's tastes and religions, because I think that also halal, kosher, those play into it as well.
Definitely. That's what you do. We always, that's what We trying to find out before, even like we get a big booking, we want to find out who's having this, and then when you come, we're ready. So yeah,
That's
we
awesome.
make sure that everyone is.
And I bet your food is quite good at lunchtime, that it puts all the conference delegates to sleep in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Do you have activities on the lawn that kind of wakes them up?
That's why we're in a place of smile. We have to make people smile, keep them smile.
So Gilbert, tell me a little bit more about the property.
Yeah, so I've been here 12 years now. The property's been probably going for over 20 years. And, our motto really is to try and get the community and our environment self-sustainable. So we know all the challenges that we've been facing in South Africa. So we want to be part of the solution. And we know we can't change the world, but if we can impact our neighbor, we're already making a difference. So, pre-COVID and during COVID and post-COVID, we've taught the community on how to farm, a technique called farming God's way. So we grow a lot of our own vegetables and herbs. We definitely try and employ as much as possible locally, and it's Linda's responsibility to source young people, even if they don't have a lot of experience. And then we train them, and in the culture of hospitality. And we try and develop them, and we do run a fairly effective mentorship program. We also work very closely with the local community in terms of our CPF, SAPS, Kingdom Valley, and places like this, where we provide a venue for them where they can come and have their conferences and have their meetings over here. And so we've enjoyed over a number of years now the support of the local community, because I think people have they've begun to trust us as a venue. So we don't promise things that we can't deliver. We'd rather under promise and over deliver. So we really feel that we are part of the community here in Muldersdrift. We are great ambassadors of the cradle of humankind. We partnership with many of the facilities like the Lion Rhino Park in the area, the Botanical Gardens, Silver Star Casino, and many other facilities where we negotiate discounts there for our guests, and then we package things like this coming December. We've got a pay 2, stay 3 night, and we add on all these little experiences in the cradle of humankind that people can actually go and enjoy it as a local tourist and not pay these exorbitant prices. And that's really who we are. We are a local lacquer place.
And you, when we did the walkabout the other day, they were saying you had 51 rooms, some of which are executive suites and some of them are family rooms. So families can stay quite easily as a family rather than booking half the hotel to stay as a family. And so many of our viewers come from overseas. And what happens is when a couple comes from overseas to visit, they end up spending the entire time going around visiting people in their homes. So it becomes a tiring visit for them. So we, looking at venues like yours, for instance, my eye was more on when people come as a group, they can invite all their mates to stay on the pay for 2 nights, stay for 3, where they can actually visit in one place. They can all be a reunion in one place. So the family who's come out also gets a holiday and can go off afterwards and visit places rather than just family and friends. So from that perspective, I think you're the ideally placed, because you're right in Joburg. I mean, you're on the outskirts of Joburg. You'd never say we were in Joburg. I look around me and I think I'm not in Joburg.
Yeah.
I'm probably in the Natal or the Free State or something. I'm not here.
Yeah.
Because you can't hear the traffic.
Absolutely, and many of the venues here don't have a lot of rooms. So exactly what you just said now, Janine, we have a lot of people coming in from abroad, the UK, wherever it might be. They arrive on the Friday evening we might do a little braai for them, and they'll have a little private venue where all the family gather together the night before the wedding. And the day after the wedding on the Sunday, we generally do a nice little champagne brunch and we get the whole family together. So it really is a place you can bring your family to, spend a couple of nights together before you get on the plane and you head back home again. So it's something that we do quite a lot.
It's a group discount, because I mean there's 4 or 5 or 10 families.
Correct.
That are all staying, but they eat together because they can eat in the restaurant together, they can sit outside on the lawns together.
Correct, yeah.
They can go and visit the Lion Rhino and Lion Park.
Absolutely.
Together. So
Yeah.
everything they can do, they can literally do together.
And the great thing is, because we're a family managed property, we're very flexible. So if you're coming in and you've got a particular need, we're not going to say to you, no, it's not done that way. We'll try and meet you and your need as much as possible. So there's a lot of flexibility here at Riverstone Lodge.
That's awesome. And Linda, how do you find the staff handles sort of, especially after COVID, did you find they were more sociable because they were dying to get back into meeting people besides on Zoom?
Oh, well, it was such an excitement, Janine. You know, we were very blessed. During the COVID, we were closed because there were no customers. However, we did quite a lot of renovations in our bathrooms. We took an advantage of that. So we're a happy bunch with our landlord give us an opportunity to refresh our bathrooms. If you see, we are a stony place. Most of our rooms got dark floors, but if you walk into our bathrooms now, you'll find all white.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we really did quite a lot of work. So we invited our staff to come, and we would provide them with transport money. We would be feeding our staff, doing packages every weekend to make sure, because we also got a garden here, we farming the God's way, and we had local customers that were assisting us as well with some packages that we also made up from the little that we had to make sure that our people were not going on hungry stomachs. So they would come and assist while we were renovating our rooms. So by the time we were coming back, because we were also serving coffees on weekends for the cyclists, which is the biggest part of the family here, we get supported a lot by our cyclists. So during the
I see you
weekends,
offer parking for cyclists.
Absolutely.
And you give them a voucher, they pay a small amount
And
just
they
so that they can come back, and inevitably they'll buy food or do something while they're here.
so we opened our bar for coffees. It was cold and everybody needed a cup of coffee.
That is
so
awesome.
when the staff came back, we're not dead, but everybody was excited. We took it up and we made it sure that we're going to say COVID is over, so let's shake and go. So it was a movement, and here we are.
And I must say, when I was here, the cyclists, there were a lot of them, the Lycra outfit. And they were, I mean, and I can see you on a route, because I think the route goes past Nyrox Park.
Correct.
They use a lot of that kind of route.
It's what they call the cradle loop.
Loop, yeah. And I think that's ideally placed for you, because they remember that if you want a conference, go to Stone, just come to Riverstone.
And you know, the beautiful thing is we've just opened this bridge. In fact, the official opening is next Friday. And this will also give all of our cyclists access onto the beautiful Avianto estate that will then take them onto different cycling trails and also walking trails. So it is a beautiful location to come to, and especially if you enjoy the outdoor activities.
That's such a stunning idea. What gave you that idea?
Well, because the owner of this property of Riverstone Lodge is the developer of the Avianto estate, it made sense to link the two together. So it was
Okay.
it was really his idea.
That's pretty cool.
And I must say, the first two bridges over many years washed away, but as you can see, that one there, I
Those are
don't
fairly
think it's
soon.
not going to wash away anytime soon.
And I love the flowers on the railings.
Beautiful, isn't it?
I'll actually put a picture up so you can
It's
see, because
lovely.
I took some beautiful pictures
Lovely.
when I was here. In terms of conferencing and weddings and things like that, your proximity to Joburg is really awesome, because you don't have to stay overnight. But what's really nice is if you have to leave your family and something happens at home, you don't have to catch a plane, you just get in your car and drive home. Because it's around the
Absolutely.
corner.
Yeah, and I think the other advantage as well is everything here is natural. So as Linda mentioned earlier, you know, if you go into one of our conference rooms, it's very rustic. You get, natural light
the whole
shining
stone
through.
finish as
Yeah,
well.
it's the natural light coming through, and we go from 5 up to 150. Your conferences are tailor made. And the proximity is really a big thing. But I think what most people say to us, and when we look at our conference business, it's people coming back home again.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, what really works for us. So conferencing is a big part of our business. In fact, the biggest part of our business. We do a few weddings, but we do a lot of events for the local people. So even some of the hotel staff in the area, when they're celebrating a birthday or an anniversary, Riverstone Lodge is a place they'll choose to come to.
That's
Because
such a
it's
cool
affordable, and also because we
And
trust
obviously
them.
because James's food's good. Let's not
Very
forget that.
Very
Do you change menus often?
Yes. Always, yeah. We're trying to change. Actually, I'm making sure that every 6 months the menu has to change. Every 6 months.
Because
the
that's
menu
what
has to
really
change.
brings people back.
And
Even
it
though you
is
have
a-
your favorites,
and-
you always want to come back and see what's new.
And then there is a monthly menus coming in also, just for conferencing, buffet, things like that. We always do create something.
And you obviously update your wine list, your spirits list, because I think you do cocktails. In the one cocktail area, I noticed there were cocktails there. And because those are important when you've got rugby, because I think the rugby's coming up, so your venue. It's a great fan park area, you know.
You know, Janine, we're just opening up our Driftwood cocktail lounge now. So we've been doing a lot of training, new cocktails coming in as well. But a lot of the dishes that we do are also created by our guests, because we run competitions, we run Facebook competitions, and it's wonderful to see the participation. And so we take those dishes, we might tweak them slightly, but that goes onto our menu. And so our menu, a lot of our menu is often composed by our guests actually.
That's
and
awesome.
then obviously James is going to put the finishing touches on
touches on it,
Exactly,
absolutely.
yeah.
So are you going to run a fan park for the rugby? Come on, it's also World Cup cricket.
Well, look, the
But
you
you've
know,
got 51 rooms to house everyone, so
Yeah.
they don't have to drink and
Janine,
drive.
you know what? There are here in the Cradle Humankind, there are so many venues, and so each person has got their own market. So in this road where we're in now, there must be 5 venues now. There's Cool Runnings, there's the Cloven Hoof, there's the Drifting. They all run these kind of fan parks.
But the
So
problem is you can't stay over, James. I mean, Gilbert,
we
you
will
can't stay over.
shuttle you. We will come and fetch you. But we do. We have a big screen on. In fact, it was quite interesting. This last weekend, there was a big local soccer derby, and then there was obviously the rugby. And Linda was saying, now, who's going to win this one? Is it going to be the Boertjies, or who is it going to be? And I must say, Orlando Pirates came out tops.
Well, I
Absolutely.
mean, you've got to admit, you've got a perfect venue just behind you that you can put a huge sheet on, and we could all sit on the grass and enjoy the rugby. Because you can't do that in a pub,
No, you
because
can't.
it's very closed and it's very crowded.
I love that idea. It's
So
great.
you can just put us all here on the lawns. We'll bring a picnic basket. You certainly make the picnic basket.
That's it.
And we'll just come and enjoy the rugby being outside, because you want to almost get that feeling of being at the rugby, and you can't really be at the rugby in a pub,
No.
but you can on the lawn. So it's a great way to watch
That's
rugby.
Lovely.
And you can stay over.
Great
So
idea.
if you have a rugby package, we'll gladly stay over. You know, because the drinking and driving is a problem to drive home. Most of us either use Uber,
Yes.
or we always encourage friends to spend the night. Don't drive home, just spend the night, because it's not about you, it's about the person you hit. So
In fact, Janine, you know, when we have delegates coming on conferencing, or they do a year-end function, we run a special. If I got rooms open, we'll encourage them. There's the toothbrush, there's your toothpaste. Do
Absolutely
not drink
right.
and drive,
Yeah.
and we actually make sure that our guests are safe. That's very,
Yeah.
very important what
in
you
the
say.
UK, I think the venue gets fined if the person is caught drinking and driving home. The venue gets the fine, and the venue can get closed down, because they should never have allowed him to leave with his keys. So they actually hold the venues responsible for
Coming
that.
tight. Yeah.
That's interesting.
You know, and because the barman can see the guys like had too much to drink, and then he wanders out to the car park. I mean,
And
really.
he gets through his car, and then what happens? Oh,
And I think having a venue like yours, it's just because you're so close to Joburg as well. It's really awesome to stay over, because you can go to work the next morning and still be on time,
Correct.
Yes.
because you're not
Correct,
far
yeah.
from anything where
not
you
at
are.
all.
Yeah.
So you're a great little let's meet for drinks at Riverstone and stay over. You know, because I mean, for what they spend on the barbell, they may as well spend on a room.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, wait to bring me a room.
Yeah. No, we definitely encourage that. Absolutely. Yeah.
So what are the plans for the future?
Well, you know, at this point in time, we've just started renovating our Smiles restaurant. We are opening up our cocktail lounge over here. And, you know, we are really enjoying, and I think the whole area, especially on the conference market, is enjoying a boom. So coming out of COVID, we are definitely encouraged to see that conferencing is back. Even though hybrid conferencing is still taking place, more and more people want to meet. So we're definitely focusing on our conference market. We're also developing more relationships with our neighbors as well, to create experiences for our guests. And we've just come out of a grading. There's quite a few new developments that's happening in the industry that we're working towards as well. And I think what people want to see, and especially today, you know, with things like TripAdvisor and the feedback online, people want to see new things happening all the time. So that's what we strive for, you know, in our menus, in our rooms. We've just recently redecorated some of the rooms as well. So when people do come here, it's a little bit different. It's not the same each time. And so that's what we're actually doing. The other thing that we're spending a lot of time, you asking moving forward, is spending time in training and developing our people. So we encourage our people to go and visit other properties. Chef will be going through just shortly to go and visit a few other properties, to spend some time with their chefs, to engage, to see what is actually happening. We also like to visit trade shows to see what's actually developing other new things in the industry. So I think for us right now, it's a drive on our people, just to sustain and to develop people. So I think that's our biggest drive, Janine, so that when guests do come here, there's always something fresh, something new, and competent people that they're actually dealing with, and happy people.
And that's always the key. And I think Linda certainly makes sure that the staff stay happy, because when we were here, they were all happy.
Absolutely.
Especially when they saw you walking down the passageway.
Because our people, we put pride on our people. They are the biggest asset that we have, because our guests are happy because our people are happy.
You're so much less inclined to complain if there's an issue that you face and it's resolved quickly, easily, and without the retribute that it's your fault. So often you'll come across something where a bath is cracked or something, and you'll say, sorry, our bath has got a problem or whatever, and they go, well, did you crack it? No. So it's nice to come across a venue where they take responsibility for that complaint and fix it quickly and easily. And I think that's the key, is being able to do that.
And we get all that joy from our people. And the way that they are trained to own each and every equipment that they use. They are trained to love each and every person who walks in here. We pray together in the morning with our staff, and we joy together, and we make sure that during the time that they are here, each and everybody goes through training within different departments. So we would like also our people to be multi-skilled. We do cross trainings. We check out your capacity.
I think that's so important, because everybody always says, but it's housekeeping, but it's actually maintenance, but it's this one. But if they've all done the job, they have to think twice before they blame somebody else.
And when we do inductions, we take it very seriously, and we alert them that they have an opportunity to learn other departments as well. And as soon as we get into training in each and every department, we make sure that they also get to know what is happening in the surrounding outside. We do visits with other hotels. We work very well with the locals. We are not in any competition. We want people to know that they have to grow themselves and develop them. And when we're sourcing people, we look locally. We have a very big challenge within tourism. We got tourism matriculants, students that have done tourism as part of their curriculum, and they don't know what to do with it, because they're not going to end up in any university because of the state of the country that we all know. We try to come together and work with all the organizations that are into developing people. Right at the moment, we are in a program that is from our local community project, that's the Siyakola program, which works together with the government, giving young people an opportunity to find jobs and be trained and be paid for 8 days a month. So in 8 days, what would you train somebody in hospitality? Until you come up as an organization like ourselves and say, over and above the 8 days, we will train them and we will pay them. Because they need to get money to come to training.
Absolutely, come to training.
They need to earn, and also to put food on the table. And the program takes about 12 months, but in 12 months' time, that person would know exactly in which department within hospitality he belongs.
It would be so amazing if you talk like that. I think it would be amazing if we had an exchange program for hospitality. Because we've noticed when we do educationals, as part of the people on our educational, it's hospitality. Because we want them to see how the other half live.
Yes.
And see what other people are doing, because it improves them and it improves the people they go to see, because they exchange ideas. And now imagine if you sent your staff to Uganda, for instance, and their staff came to you.
Beautiful.
So now you had 8 people here and 8 people there, and you're in totally different countries, but you also in Africa. So it's like, how do you deal with multicultural visitors, multinationals, different environments? What is your cleaning methods compared to our cleaning methods? I know when I was in the UK, they had these yellow boards, and it says wet floors. You know, those little...
Which is still there.
I know, but in the UK, they didn't know that if you swing it around, you can dry the floor quickly. and we learned that in this country years ago.
And I must tell you that the young people that are coming from school, they haven't had an opportunity to ever sleep in a hotel. They are coming from the squatter camps.
Yeah.
They have got one pants, they've got one pair of shoes, as an organization that is going to take up on young people, you need to make sure that you overcome those obstacles. You give them an opportunity, you feed them, you look how they are looking, you assist them that when they walk and they don't have transport, they can get into your workplace and they can shower.
Absolutely.
So those are the little things that make it a family place. So we know that even if our young person has walked down this road for about 5 kilometers to get here, he can get in here and he can shower, he can change into his uniform, and he can have a meal, and he can work.
That's brilliant. Well done.
And then we can demand what we want from him or
Absolutely,
her,
'cause you've
because we
given them
know
the
we have
tools.
provided them with
Yeah.
the tools. So we end up with happy staff, and we have got success in our training. We do source out again our employees once they are fully equipped and they say, now I've worked here for 3 years and I've seen a position. They come to HR and say, I've seen a position somewhere, I think I can take it, I want to be a supervisor, there's this position out of Riverstone Lodge I want to apply for. We will assist you to get it.
I think that's brilliant, because that allows somebody young then to come in
We
with
are
new
not
ideas.
the kind
and-
of people that say
That's
stay
brilliant.
with us and live with us, because in training, myself and Gilbert, we have got years of experience. We are equipped to take them and throw them in the deep end because we can dive and fetch them.
That's wonderful.
So we give them that kind of opportunity to learn as much as they want, and we can let them go. But as long as you follow the program and you follow the procedures of letting us know, you don't just vanish.
Yeah,
So-
that's an African thing.
which I must say, we've got quite the longest staff that has been here for a very long time, and some do try and go, and when they have left, you would get within 6 months someone calling you and asking if his position is available. I'm like, my for goodness, why are you coming back now?
And we're leaving your job open for 6 months.
That actually shows you that you have done well with
Absolutely.
with the human being,
No,
because
that's
there's a
awesome.
human side that we have to work with, and there is a business side that we have to focus on. But developing young people is such a challenge within the country. I hope other small hotels like us can take up and assist us in making sure that this valley, every child is working, because children are on the streets, children don't know where to go, they pass matric and they can't go anywhere, and the government is doing its best to try and give them a little bit of stipends, but we need to come up as clients and corporates, put together and work with the young people and assist to
That's why I
equip
think
them with some
entrepreneurship
skills.
is so big in this country. Entrepreneurship together with innovative and inventions, it's huge in this country.
And I can proudly say our training program is really going places. It has taken off this year. We are going big, and after COVID, we want people to know that there is life and there is hope. And Riverstone Lodge can actually give that to the young people.
And how do they get hold of you guys? If people want to come visit or people want to come work here, what's the contact details? How do we
It's
go?
www.riverstonelodge.co.za, and they can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and we've got a lovely website which is very informative, lots of little pictures there, and it's very interactive, so that's the best way to get hold of us.
And you mean to tell me I'm not going to find any AI on there? Oh, God.
No, I don't think so. But Janine, just in closing, I'd just like to add what Linda was saying there. I had an understudy, a young man that worked here for 6 years, and he had just not long out of training, and he's now successfully managing 2 big hotels in the area.
That's awesome.
And so what Linda's saying, if you come here with the right attitude and you want to learn, we are there to facilitate and help you grow. But it's really up to you what
Absolutely.
you're going to do with that.
No, listen, I completely agree. If it's to be, it's up to you.
That's
So,
it.
I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Totally. Linda, Gilbert, James, thank you so much for joining me. It's been such a pleasure chatting to you. I'm Janine from Life is a Beach.